Hello everybody, what's up? Captain Turbo here, and boys and girls, welcome back to my childhood once again as we play a tech magic game, and I believe I accidentally leave this on for a little bit longer than anticipated. But we're going to be playing Sylvester and Tweety in Caped Mysteries or something? I can't remember, we're going to see it in a second anyway. Starring Roman Reigns, of course, in Cape Capers, Cagey Capers, there you go, I knew it was something like that. So, quick note here, boys and girls. This is actually going to be post-commentary. I was going to do this live, but I didn't know if I could really do it properly. Also, I let the demo run a little bit too long there, so we're just going back in here. And as you can see here in the options, difficulty can be anything from 100% to 0 or 1% here, but depending on the percentage you go, you will only have access to a set amount of stages. You have to go 81% at the very least in order to have access to every single stage, and therefore the end as well. Here is a little tutorial about what you can do here. Your goal of the game is very simple. You'll have to follow Tweety around the stage, occasionally attacking him, until you basically get to the end of the stage and you are capable of capturing Tweety. So, one thing about this game you should really notice off the bat here is the bottom left there. It says 9 over Sylvester's icons. Technically we have 9 lives at the moment, but the game doesn't work in the normal sense of lives do. By saying it like that, they act more like health more than anything. You can take about 3 or 4 hits per health, or life I guess. After you lose some health, obviously it'll keep going down and then you'll lose a life. Obviously start with 9 because cats have 9 lives, of course. And if you game over, you basically game over. I don't know if there's actually any continues. I never actually, I haven't ever beaten this game as a kid. I did finally beat it a couple days ago for the first time. But, I can't remember if there's continues or not. I'm basically just trying to see if there's any like extra lives and stuff here early on. The reason I keep attacking Tweety is point scope. I believe for every 100,000 points you get a extra life, and believe me, the more lives you can gain early on, the better. Some of the later stages are actually pretty difficult. 2 in particular that I'll go into later. Not necessarily because getting to Tweety is hard, but rather just the fact that some things can automatically kill you in the game. It's not really fun that way. So here's the thing with Sylvester. His sprite is very big. I'll say right now, things like jumping and stuff are not fantastic. It can be, like, on precise jumping on precise platforms, it can be a little tricky to get used to the actual feel of him. And grabbing boxes and stuff is as simple as walking into them. Make sure you don't jump into them or anything like that. I don't know why I'm doing this. I think I get points for it, but apparently I don't. Dropping it is as simple as just stopping in place. Obviously you can stack on top of each other as well, which is cool. If you want to get rid of them, you can do that as well, and disconnect them by attacking. As you can see, I'm about to take damage there, and you can see the icon on the bottom left is change. The first stage here is actually pretty simple and straightforward. The reason I'm taking so long is I'm going around trying to get some points early on so I can build up those lives, just for the later ones. This is a extra life token as well. Time if you... Oh, and by the way, you have a menu here. You can use items you picked up through the level. I will say this, they do not stack over levels, so as soon as I'm out of this stage, we will not have access to any of the items we've picked up currently. We'll start afresh with a brand new nothing, essentially, until the next stage. The reason the time's ticking up rather than down is obviously the quicker you finish a stage, the more points you'll get overall for bonus, like a time bonus at the end of the stage. I would actually recommend you trying to just attack Tweety as often as you can, because you'll gain 50,000, I believe, for every attack you get on him. Oh, it's 20,000, but that's still a lot. Especially early on, but yeah, I'm basically not following Tweety right now because I'm just having a quick look around, see if there's anything to pick up. There's really not, but we're actually almost at the end of the stage here. But yeah, you get a myriad of different items you can use. You saw the umbrella, that will slow your descent as you fall down and will basically stop you from taking any damage, because you do get fall damage in this game. But that is the first stage over and done with, boys and girls. It's a very simple stage. As I said, for every 100,000 points we get an extra life, and that also, I believe, works here in the screen as well. I do like a lot of things like this. I said the beating up. I think the dog's name is Hector, if I'm not mistaken. I believe, actually, I'm about to showcase one of the issues I have with this very early on. The game is not necessarily hard. There's a few instances here and there where the game can fuck with you a little bit. So here I can get rid of Hector momentarily. He will come back, though, if you go straight to the left-hand side of the screen, and unfortunately I actually have to go there because I need to get the box. But the problem here is, in order to get the box, I need to be not getting hit, and he's not willing to leave me alone. So I can carry the box this way, but the second I try to do it this way, as you can see, it's not really working. And unfortunately, even if I get rid of Hector, the second I go back over to the left, Hector will be there to basically ruin my day again, I believe. Yes, as you can see there. He somehow teleported to the other side of the map, and this is one of the things I just really don't care much for in the game, is I wouldn't say it's broken or anything like that, but it's definitely not well thought out there. Invincibility frames also need to be improved on a little bit as well, but it's one of those things that, you know, in hindsight type of thing. Gonna quickly use the bone to try and get Hector off my ass. So the main goal of this stage is actually to use these barrels, use the boxes and stuff, and build up to, I think it's a birdhouse where Tweety's going to be at the end of the stage. But there is a cheaty way that I end up showing off instead. But I do show off a good chunk of the stage anyway, just to, you know, showcase it. And unfortunately I miss any attacks I did there for Tweety, which is a shame. I would have liked to hit the little bastard. If you see Sylvester falling like that, it means he's only going to be able to stay on the platform, wherever it is you're using, for a very limited amount of time before, obviously, you're going to take too much time and you'll fall through whatever it is you're standing on. So if I stand on here for too long, I will fall to whatever's below me. And obviously if I fall too far, I'm going to take damage. Another thing I'm not really a massive fan of is, while you can zoom in to see where Tweety is, unfortunately it takes a while, depending on where you are, for it to head back to Sylvester. It doesn't just snap straight back to you, so that is a pain. And unfortunately, because I'm trying to fall through the gap here, and unfortunately I pressed the thing twice and I ended up falling down. Be careful, because enemies, as you can see there, can actually get rid of your little makeshift Lego blocks here. So yeah, the game wants you to actually push these barrels down and build up. That's fine, you can do that very, very easily. You can actually finish this level pretty quickly. But at this point I'm actually looking around for extra points to get, so I can, again, increase my life count. Not really adding much else to it, to be fair. And I keep taking damage, and you can see we lost another life there. I actually ended up doing really badly in this stage. To be fair, I actually, like I said, I never actually beat this game as a kid. It was a game I got... I'll tell you about the stage I didn't beat later on when we actually get to it. Unfortunately, I kind of fucked this up here a little bit as well, because you're not actually supposed to knock that straight down. You're supposed to knock the one below it first off, but I didn't end up doing that. Thankfully, there are alternative ways to beat this stage, so it is what it is. But you can see we can build up a little bit more here, and you get those two barrels as well, and eventually you will be able to head up. But as I said, we didn't end up doing that, and I'm just completely fucking this up. Thankfully, I can say I think this was probably one of my worst stages in the game. I don't think I ended up doing much worse than this. I guess, like, the sprite work is pretty nice for this game. It definitely looks pretty good for what it is. If we jump and do a running jump off that, we can just reach Tweety, and that is usually how speedrunners do it. It's actually a very easy thing to do. As soon as Tweety gets on that, if you can get on that platform, congratulations, you've just managed to get Tweety. It's really simple and straightforward. But as I said, if you want to do it the legit way, you have to build up to Tweety with the barrels and the boxes. Anyway, episode 3, we've got Mayhem Express. The kangaroo's name I do not remember. But the kangaroo can kick you around. We don't actually showcase that yet. Get another item here. We get the mallet. You can use this to attack any enemy that you come across. Hector being in this case. And you can see Hector's going to be a problem, so let's take the hammer and start beating the heavy-loving shit out of him with it. As I said before, in order to get rid, I think I said this, in order to get rid of the item, you need to end the hammer respawn, so I'm glad about that. In order to get rid of the hammer, you just need to press the start button again, and it will de-equip whatever you're using. So we got an extra life again, which is... no, actually, we didn't get an extra life. We did pick up an extra life, but we didn't get it through Tweety, that's it. For this stage, I actually fucked around a little bit, because I know where there is a hidden extra life. It's right near the end of the stage. Unfortunately, I kept missing what I need to do. And this is one of the stages I really don't like. You can get teleported straight back to the beginning of the stage if you fall off the train, which is fine. Some parts you actually have to do that with. But the one thing I don't like is... this level requires you to do some leaps of faith, which in this game is not great because, again, you've got fall damage, so it's not terrible design, but no, I would call that bad design. In order to get up here, though, we need to have the pogo stick at the ready. Simple and straightforward enough. Let's see where Tweety is, so hopefully we can get a couple more hits on. I'm kind of prioritizing making sure I hit Tweety enough, as much as I can. Again, trying to get as many lives as I can. I'm going to push this box over here a little bit, so I can see I need to go this way. Just going to push this in case we need it to get back out. Thankfully, I don't think we're going to need it. So I want to be really careful. If we go through that open door, we will get sent straight back to the first trolley. Not trolley, the first cab. Is it cabin? I actually can't remember. The first part of the train we were at anyway. Let's use the suitcase here in order to help build this up. Get the points. Use a spring to get back up into the first room. You see an umbrella there. We don't really need it, though. Would have been good for later, but again, because of those leaps of faith and stuff, it can be a bit of a nightmare. And unfortunately, a couple things do blend into the background there. I didn't actually know I could stand on that, so... it is what it is. And unfortunately, I fall straight off the train here, and it does send us all the way back to the start, as I said, but thankfully it's not going to take us too long to get back to where we were. The only issue is we do have to re-pick up the pogo stick, so that is only going to take our attention away for like an extra 20-30 seconds. Plus it does keep us in the level a bit longer. I'll be honest, like, I think one of the shorter stages in the game is probably the first and the last stage, because the last stage is actually not all that long, to be fair. And the last stage is actually pretty easy, all things considered. I don't know why. It just is. And to be fair, the game actually isn't overly long anyway, so... I think the speedrun record for this is like 12 minutes or something silly like that. Like, there's almost nothing to it.